why don't we get underway? I'll call the meeting to order at 6:30 so we can all get home before another downpour arrives. Thank you all for coming out tonight. It's pretty lousy weather for schlepping across town, so I appreciate that everybody came, and I look forward to listening to what you have to say. A couple of announcements to start. One, things have gotten pretty loosey-goosey with the keys to the town office, and there's some sensitive information in the town office. So we had the locks changed, and we have a sign-up sheet for keys. At this moment, right now, just Darlene and Liz and Anna, who all work in the office, have keys, and Larry and I have keys. We'll also be giving a key to Beth White, our accountant, who goes into the office to prepare the manifest. If anybody else feels that they're entitled to a key, we'll be happy to hear your case. But I've always had one in the past, and that's why I need one. That's not a good enough reason. So we're just trying to keep control on access to information in the office. The second thing I want to point out is it's summer, and a lot of us are building stuff, sheds and garages and other things. I want to remind everybody that you need building permits, and I'm the building permit officer. The application is, you can download it on the website. Please read the fine print. It says allow 2 to 4 weeks for processing. I do on occasion get a phone call that goes something like this. Hello, Mr. Berkeley. My name is Joe Schmo. I live on XX Road. I dropped off the building permit application this afternoon. Have you signed it yet? J-Leg is dropping off lumber tomorrow. The crew is coming the next day, and I need that permit right now. That may or may not be based on a real phone call, and I'm not kidding. And I've gotten more than one like that. I don't sit at the desk in the town office waiting for building permit applications to come in and sign. So please give yourself a little bit of time if you want to build anything that needs a permit. The second thing about building permits is, I know it's really romantic to, draw your dream house on a napkin or your garage or something like that, but that doesn't really help me at all. What I really need to know, and any permit officer in the future will need to know, is what is the distance from your property lines to the new structure. There are setbacks that are very clear on the website. You've got to be at least 50 feet back from any road frontage, and you've got to be 25 feet back from any side property lines. If you want to build closer than that, you can, but it requires a variance from the Zoning Board of Adjustment, which is quite a process to go through. So it's much, much easier for all concerned if whatever structure you want to build, a shed, a garage, a house, is within those setbacks. So please indicate that on your building permit, what the distance is from the property lines to the new structure. This counts for decks as well on a house. So I just wanted to make those points about building permits because we're getting a lot of permits because people do a lot of building in the summertime. And I love signing permits. I like building stuff myself, and I love to see it when people build stuff. So I think it's good. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Yes, Mike.
Everyone on video recording this album.
Yes. Thank you. Tonight, during the public input sessions, please, if you've got something to say, come up here and step right into the corner so we can get you on the camera there. This is the video that will be posted on the website. Just stand there, state your name, and then, let us know what's on your mind, okay? So up out of the audience and right here, and we'll go forward from there. Alrighty. Review of the minutes of 6/16. I make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
I won't second it.
You won't say?
I make a motion to discuss it.
No, you motion, then you second, and then you discuss.
Okay, I second it.
Okay, discussion.
Okay, it's not ready yet grammatically.
Oh, grammatically? Okay, you get Okay.
this right now.
All right, why don't we, then postpone approving the final
Until
minutes until next time? Okay.
Okay.
We'll make some corrections, so we'll put together corrected minutes. Okay, all right. Let's, take a look at the manifest then. Again, I make a motion that we accept the manifest.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? I've got a couple of questions about things on the manifest. Dean?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, I'm glad you're here. On the meeting that we had with you on June 20th, and we talked about the culvert for Streeter Woods Road, you gave us the indication that that culvert would cost in the neighborhood of $350. And it's, I see that the charge on here is $968.
Actually, it was $344 per culvert, and they went up since they gave me the price on it.
I was under the impression it was gonna take one culvert to do
Oh,
the
no, two
job.
culverts. Because you said not to add on to the other because you felt it was unsafe. That's what we discussed at that meeting.
So you said two culverts?
Two culverts.
How is 344 or whatever add up to
It did,
968?
they went up since they gave me that quote.
They went up that much?
Yep.
That is really a steep price hike.
That is the state bid. We have the state bid.
Well, okay. That's really a high price for culverts.
Because I was just going to add on to the culvert that was there, and at that time that we discussed it, you guys figured that would be unsafe to do it, to
Right.
make sure you put a new culvert across that.
Okay. Also, I have a question about the charge from Hirsch's.
These boots right here, whatever.
Right. It's my understanding that the road agent is entitled to one pair of boots per year.
This is one pair of boots.
Okay. The bill from Hirsch's has two pair of boots and a pair of suspenders on there?
That's correct. They put the suspenders by mistake on it.
Okay, are you going to reimburse the
Yes,
town
I
for
will.
those? Okay.
$14.
Good, thank you. I don't think that the town should
No.
be responsible for holding up your pants. And the second pair of boots?
That went to Brent. He's entitled to safety toe boots as well.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for reimbursing the town for the suspenders. Okay, any other questions on this, Larry?
Just one second.
Okay, sure.
Okay, now on the, I don't have them with me, but on the fuel bills, it's still listed as 2004 Ranger. For,
That was supposed to be corrected by the administrative assistant.
okay. Then we need to
Correct
follow
that.
up and have them correct that.
Yeah, is that on the state bill or is that on the?
On the state bill, the
on the
DOT
state
bill.
bill, okay.
Yep. Probably haven't put gas in for a year now, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Does he have a camera over there? Does he seem to be over here talking to the camera? Like everybody else?
I beg your pardon?
Does he need to be over here talking to the camera?
He can pick up, he's going to be picked up by that.
That's what I'm just-
Yeah. Anything else, Larry, on the manifest?
Yes, for town of Dorchester is written out. I know that they're for the trust funds, but on the checks, it does not say that it's for the trust funds, it just says town of Dorchester. I don't want to sign for checks that there's no designation on them for what they're for.
On how the checks were made out?
Yes, they weren't made out with like, state, they're just made out to the town of Dorchester and that's it. It doesn't say which trust fund each one is for or stuff, they're just basically generic.
I don't know how.
So I would like to have them state what trust funds they're for.
I don't have the bookkeeper made it out, but when they're deposited, there's a specific code for each trust fund. Now, if it's a question of the physical check, I don't know, I haven't seen the checks. But the
Yeah, it
coding of it goes to each specific fund, and it has to be deposited in that fund.
Yeah, my doubting on that, my thing is just to have a paper trail for where for what each one's intended for on the check, so we know what's what.
Well, where it would be deposited would be your fund that it went into. I mean, we get these, that would be on the bank statement when I get it next month. I haven't seen physical checks. So if you want them retyped, we'll have to wait for 2 weeks and have the bookkeeper type them accordingly.
Would it be satisfactory? I know that Artie knows which
Yes.
trust funds those checks go for.
I can write it in the memo.
Could he write it up just on the memo line, on the physical check?
If that's acceptable to you, to write it off of.
Yeah, 'cause
write it on the check and the memo, yes,
Right, okay, on the memo
on
line.
which ones they go to, yeah.
Right, okay,
I can do that.
Without,
All right.
I can do that tonight for you.
okay, great.
You want it on the
appreciate that.
manifest too?
pardon me?
Do you want me to print it on the manifest too?
Yes,
Yeah, I'll do it for you.
Okay,
thank you.
Sure.
thanks. Anything else?
Yeah, I don't have it. I had a question on the RAND slip. It says paint Brent. What was that?
Daddy, we discussed that the last select board meeting, I think we bought that to put the big signs for the down at the end of the bridge, where the bridge is out, stop bridge is out, it's color red.
Okay, so it was
That was the next.
paint for Province Road Bridge.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And the other, I had a question for Steve on, now, the road call to Sable for 32561, is there a certain amount where we have to be called on, or?
Sable and Sons. So,
That was when the truck broke down, right?
Correct. On Interstate 89, it was suggested to get the truck off the road.
Yeah.
Not wasting time to get hold of one of you guys. I mean, you know,
all right, so that's the tow charge?
no, there's no.
Okay.
Road service.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, in that case, generally we would be called about a charge like that, but in that case, getting the truck off the road, I think this.
To it not be a safety hazard, right?
Yeah.
Well, the police would have towed it, and we would have made the bill.
Yeah, I'm just asking,
Is that it?
so I know. Okay. Other than that, I have no
Okay.
questions.
All right, so we'll sign this, and then Artie, you'll
I'll do it right now.
add on,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah, that's the main one?
Yeah,
Okay, that's just, okay.
okay. So I'll sign
What's
this.
the name?
Oh, okay, well, we want to sign the name.
Paper copies.
Okay. Where are the checks? Huh? Okay, I see. All right, okay. Great, thanks, Artie.
Thank you, Annie.
Yeah, no problem.
Before you sit down, you want to mention the treasurer's report?
I emailed them to you.
Right, I saw him. So, the town's pretty flush at the moment.
Don't be,
No, I know what
it's
you're,
all, we have it, but it's gonna be spent in over the
Right.
next so many months.
right,
Because don't forget, we do have also expenditures that the town approved tax map,
You're right,
the last payment,
right, we got a school payment coming up.
school payment every month,
Yeah,
and it's gonna go up probably in October, November.
right.
And just a suggestion to you, before we make that last payment on the tax maps, they're a little behind on producing those. I suggest we don't pay it until we get the final product.
I think that's a good suggestion.
That's Avatar?
Excuse me?
That's Avatar?
No, that's, I don't recall if the name of the company doing the tax map. It was, they were hired a few years ago.
Yeah,
Oh, before, okay.
I can't remember off the top of my
Approved
head.
it
Yeah,
at
I
town
remember,
meeting.
I remember the town meeting, that was like in 2014, I think.
Something like that, and it's past the contract time, so I would suggest not making that final payment, but that's up to you guys,
Okay,
so we can see the product.
okay, all right, I agree with you,
And the county tax and all that we pay, we'll have tax money in December to do that.
all right, okay. Darlene, how are the collections this time around?
They're coming in well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a couple of times I've talked to you, it seemed like that, I just wanted to. Okay, great. All right, thank you, Artie.
Yes.
Okay, Dean, you want to talk about the highway report before we open it up to public questions and comment about highways?
Just that we're looking to buy some culverts, if that's possible, 15-inch culverts to replace them on River Road and one on North Dorchester Road, and also about 10 of Kovac for the roads out there.
Yeah, I saw that on your report. You got quite a number of projects listed here. Do you have a plan for how you want to approach these?
The only thing Kopacking is you go out when there's a pothole and you fill it, you correct the broken edges up and you fill them up and you can't put down. As far as the
That's not quite what I asked. I mean, what order do you want to do this?
oh, it's right in there. It says it right in there about Cummins Farm Road in North Dorchester. I'd like to have the culverts to do that. That's where I headed next to grade.
Okay. All right.
And then the last one will be, of course, the coal patch, and the very last one will be River Road, because that's going to be a major operation. You know.
Why don't we fix the Cummins Pond Road before River Road?
Not Cummins
Is the
Farm.
culverts, are the
North
culverts?
Dorchester.
Pardon me?
North Dorchester Road.
Oh, okay,
It's not Cummins Farm.
okay.
And
Well,
River
you
Road,
said
I
Cummins
mean,
Pond here, and I was gonna ask, what else do you have to fix on Cummins Pond?
They're on Cummins Pond Road, we,
It's got to be graded,
pardon me?
it just has to be graded. There's no crown in it. It's running down the middle of the road. The original crown's gone, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They passed grading practices and it's taken out the bottom of North Dorchester Road. And the bottom of North Dorchester Road is where we had that big rain in the town a couple of years ago. There was about 6 or 8 inches of mud down by that red cabin there.
Yeah.
FEMA gave us-
So we're referring to actually what's North Dorchester Road to Cummins Pond Road, which is the hill that goes up to towards your house, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just grading, though. That's,
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I would think, I mean, if there's more to do that the road agency,
just one culvert, and then you pay attention.
Larry, if I could, since you asked, biggest thing on North Dorchester Road, just so you, from Sherman's house to the bridge, that was closed because it had washed out. FEMA gave us about 12 grand to replace that. That's a question of how it's graded, because it now washed again. From the bridge, past Ron's, past the cabin on the left, that also washed out, closed
Yeah.
out for 2 days. We got 20 grand to fix that road, and we did. For some reason, the way it was graded, the water runs down the middle of the road, which tells you it's bad news.
It needs to be like this, though.
And the gravel's in the ditches, which is not good.
Right.
From the log cabin to just past Cummins Pond Road, that's the area I told you how to eat. That, we got almost 30 grand for that. That road was built up. Culverts were replaced along the whole road. but the ditches were done, material, and it all had a 5% crown, clean ditches. The first grader we got, when the town booked the first grader, the road agent tried, but yet it's a skill. You know, you put the crown in the road, once they took the crown out.
You're right.
And Cummins Farm Road is just a matter of crown. You know, it's,
Yep.
once you flatten the road is gonna run right down the road. That's it.
Right.
So I just
Yep.
want to educate you on the amount of money that FEMA put into that road, that it almost seems shameful that, you know, but if you could get it graded back to where it should be, clean the ditches, not trenches.
Right.
You know, take the gravel out of the ditches that would help. That's just a little history there on the money we spent on it.
Yeah. I'd like to open up to public comments on highway issues. If you've got something to say, please come up here and stand and identify yourself, and we'd love to hear what you have to say. John, we all know who you are, but I still want you to say it.
I'll get a picture of the paper.
On the video camera.
Okay, Dean, just a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
Okay, you're working up on Crossroad.
Well,
I'm glad to see you're working up there, it needs some attention. Up there, when you turn left, on Paul Stones, there's
Correct.
quite a bit of earthwork down there off to the right.
yeah, Right there.
I think that's Paul Stone's land or Bloomfield land, right?
they're both down there.
Now, have you consulted with them?
Yes, I have.
Okay, that's all I want to know.
Yep.
Because if they weren't consulted with, we don't want to be there. Okay. And another question I have is, when you're working at Clough Road, there were some problems with some utility lines, right?
Correct.
Okay. That was a dig safe issue.
No, that wasn't a big safe issue. There was that's already been asked and answered, really, that question, but if you want to go into it again, we could. It was just a matter where a stone that was removed, it fell on the phone line and broke the phone line.
I know when there's digging supposed to be involved, I don't work in a private contractor, and I've had to go through that myself. So it's something that, you know, your office has to take care of. The town could get fined. Could get fined by Fairpoint, it could get fined up to $5,000 by dig safe. So let's see what happens. As long as you're aware of that.
I am aware of that, too.
Okay.
Thank
That's
you.
all I have to say.
Thanks, John. Jake?
Yep, GLA, I was here a month ago, I dropped off 9 complaints that, the new forms that we filled out for the highway department, I haven't heard a word. So, what you got?
Well, we're working on those complaints, and not physically working on those complaints. We're trying to put them in order of addressing them. They were all effective, and I mean, I'm not explaining myself very well. We paid close attention to them. We've talked about a couple of those already. You with us.
Yeah, but not clarified.
Okay.
Yep. But nothing, no answer on any of the 9 complaints.
Okay.
That's your answer?
No,
After a month?
we'll have an answer for you on each of
But
them.
not tonight.
Not tonight.
You get that? Secondly, I know differently because I spoke to the contractor for Fairpoint on the Clough Road job, and he said there was no rock dropped on the line. The line was dug up and interrupted and then reburied. So plain and simple, there's something else going on here. And I would also like to know if you had received a fine from Fairpoint or from Big City or Target Enterprise for anything that has to do with that job.
No, not yet.
Okay?
Okay. Anybody else comments on highway?
We need more cones on River Road. Do I have?
Yes.
Now we know.
I'm sorry. I know it's trouble.
Oh, I know.
Say your name and then.
Is there a mark?
No. Quick.
Angela Smith, one of the culverts that was put in last year, right across from the old Goodfellow Farm, on the low side of the road is starting to sink. And if you've got 16-inch tires, you can make it. If you've got 14-inch, you go right in that damn hole. I've already done it. So we need cones, please.
Okay.
I realize it's not gonna get fixed right away.
That's where we need to go back, so I know what you're talking about. I'll put a phone in tomorrow.
Yeah, we get any more rain, it's gonna get worse.
Did you put a couple of cones out there? Sometimes the
I've already
phone
had
has one.
one walking around and on that one.
All right.
Can you, on Bickford Woods Road, I had mentioned it to you, I think I mentioned it to you, there is a place where somebody's driven off the side of the road in the dirt and made a rut like that deep. Can we put a cone there in the
Yeah, we
meantime
can.
till
That's what the
till
cul
it's
back
fixed?
is for again.
Okay,
Yeah. It's all listed on that,
yep, because we need to mark that.
Yeah.
Bickford? Bickford Woods Road. Yeah.
Yep,
Across from the lot home, if you want to take that. The fancy lot home,
No.
always a little bit.
no, this is out on the, this is, when you headed, probably about quarter mile, between quarter and half a mile from the end where it meets North Dorchester Road. You come back up it, it's on, when you're driving out through, on the right-hand side, you see it, and if a small car drives into that, with small tire drives into that, they're gonna go right out of sight and stuff here. So just wanna mark it before somebody does get in there.
Well,
All right, thank you.
yeah.
Okay. New business? Purchase order system for the highway department, did you want to talk about that?
Sure, go ahead.
No,
No.
well, I think we should establish one.
Yeah.
And so we've got a better accounting of highway expenses and that can be looked at by the residents if they have any questions. So
Yeah.
I would like to see us institute a purchase order system for purchases by the highway department.
Okay.
Okay? So I make the motion that we establish such a system.
And I second it.
Okay, any further discussion?
Just that, I thought we were going, when we were going to do the three directives for
Oh,
the highway
performance standard?
I thought we were doing it in there, that's why you caught me off guard.
Oh, okay.
So now.
I'm sorry. I think we have to formally establish a purchase order system. It becomes part of the performance standards, but it
Yeah,
also sort
right.
of a standalone.
Right.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Anna, LexisNexis books. What,
I know very little about that. You darling would actually probably be able to tell you more than I do. I was only briefly told what that was.
okay. Darlene, do you know about what this?
They're the RSA books.
Right. And don't we have another year on the subscription or something like that?
I don't know if,
According to what I was reading, it was like, remember the money was sent back to them or something, so we actually have
A credit.
we have a credit because the books were sent back. That's all I knew about it, but that's why I said.
So these are updated RSA books
yes,
for the town.
but all the others were thrown out. So I don't know what is the point. I mean, they were helpful. They're
Yeah.
helpful for you, for me, for Anna, for residents. If they want to look up something, they can come in and find the RSA book and
Right.
look at it and use it. But now they all got thrown out. To mine, that's what I was told. So I don't know whether it makes, I don't know, because these will, I'm assuming they'll just be the updates. And if we don't, and granted they're all online,
Right.
which is maybe why they
Throughout
were
the-
thrown out, because they're available on, well, not everybody
Right.
has online access, and they were handy to just grab and look yourself. But they're gone now, so I don't know what the
Okay.
best idea is at this point.
Artie, yes.
You may want to check with Bob Green, planning board, because he gets the updates They usually get some on disc,
Yeah,
Lexus, and you may want to check with ZBA, because
okay,
they get the updates, they get the CDs,
right.
and that's Lexus.
Darlene, do you know when those RSA books were thrown out? I'm surprised that they got chucked. I mean,
I believe it was back when Holly was
really?
there.
Okay. I imagine it's quite an expense to replace the whole set of RSA books, but maybe the updates, maybe we can just live with the updates. You're right, all the RSAs you can look at, you can find them online, easily enough.
Like I said, it'll be, you guys call whether it's advantageous to keep ordering the books. I don't know, because I don't know what the updates are, and if you can check with the planning board and see if it's something advantageous to have to continue to get into the office, even though they're just updates. I don't know.
Well, I think it would be advantageous to get hard copy updates for the office. I mean, I think that discs are great for the planning board and the ZBA, and they're convenient to use, but you gotta have a computer to look at them. It'd be nice to have paper copy, hard copy updates of the RSAs in town, so, in the office. So, let's see what we can, let's continue our subscription then with LexisNexis. Yes, Angela?
Only a comment, when I looked for RSAs and found updates, right?
Right.
That's all I find, and I don't find anything that stands on sometimes.
Oh, you mean online?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
what if the core of the RSAs is gone, right?
No, I believe that's still available
No,
online too.
no.
Oh, yeah.
But-
In the town office, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no much point in having updates in hard copy.
I guess we could investigate what it would cost to get a set of the RSAs. I shudder to think. It's probably like a set of Encyclopedia Britannicas.
They're expensive.
All right, we can find out about that. I can see some advantages of having hard copy RSAs in the town
I
office.
think so.
And Darlene's right, not everybody has a computer, not everybody's wired online and stuff like that. So. All right, we'll leave that for now. The Blum property, I guess, what was it, yesterday, Anna? People were mowing the grounds and going into the house?
They changed it a lot of times.
Dean drove by and then he came straight to the office.
Okay, they were changing.
It's on.
Do you know who they were? They?
They were from the investment company that says they own the house. And I said, as far as I know, the town owns the house. And the guy says, I agree with you because I saw you guys cleaning it up. But he says, what normally happens is one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing. And they just go ahead and order these guys to go up and clean them up and change the locks and all that, a normal process. And that's when I stopped and talked to her to see if you guys knew anything about it. Just tell them to stop, and they would have stopped, but we didn't get a response, so I asked them about it on that.
I was offline yesterday all day. I'll follow up with Steve Mancini, the attorney who's regarding the Blum property, about what happened yesterday and who these people were and what that was all about. Okay.
I know they mowed the grass and changed the locks, put a couple of the doors in place.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I saw that. Okay. Okay, Anna, do we have the PA 28?
I got one more thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I need keys or combos for locked gates in town for private and public assets for the forest fire.
Okay.
So,
Do you know the locations of all those gates?
no, that's one thing, like, we keep on showing up for new private landowners. I had, Fairpoint calling me up, they had access something off of, Province Road out here, and they couldn't get through, so.
Okay.
They're calling me for access.
Yeah. Let's put together a list of all the gates and the landowners and get that straightened out.
We should probably put a mail route to the landowners that would request if we do have a locked access, that we need access for it, unless we're gonna have to do it with the other forest.
Okay, thank you.
make,
Yes.
I have an old key ring that Tommy had originally, and some of them blocks on the gate, he's talking to several different ones, and I'll give them to him if you like.
Okay. Okay. Okay, all right,
Question. Sorry, I know I'm a little short, but
that's okay,
Brandy Ennis.
okay.
As far as the new, selectmen,
Oh,
anything,
can we get into all that at, when we have the regular public input session?
oh,
Oh, okay, that's okay, and I'll call on you first, Frank, okay? All right. Okay. All right, this is the DRA. Okay. I need to find out more about this PA-28 because it wasn't clear to me whether we were will sign or will not sign, and it's not very, it doesn't explain much of it, so I need to find out more about that.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right.
As far as highway, we're all set?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Dean.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Have a good night.
Pistol permit.
I run the paperwork, I put it all back, I just wasn't able to do it, but it's all set.
It's all set?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Go to the office tomorrow and take and get printed out.
Okay. Okay, okay, and we already talked about the MS.
Yeah, that's 535, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right,
So I'm pretty sure that's the one that Marie already signed.
yeah, that's right.
You've got, somebody's got it somewhere already.
On it.
It's just me. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Old business, the Avatar map, did you read over that? The assessment from, yeah.
I read over it quickly, yes.
Yeah, okay, I read it too. The report from the fellow from Avatar makes a lot of sense to me. How about to you?
Yes.
Okay. So, these folks are asking for a reduction of their taxes based on the real value of the property, as I understand it.
Yes.
Okay. And judge from what the Avatar guy says, and in his report, I think that that's accurate.
I believe it is.
I think so too. All right. Do we have a document that we need to sign for the abatement, or do we create one? Okay. All right. Darling, we can have it. I'll talk to Darling about that.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, that's all right. Okay. Do you have anything else for the public meeting?
Oh, just one second. Oh, we have Oikle. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Oikle?
Yes.
Doing landscaping?
Right.
What was that put out for bids originally, or what was the story on that?
I think Oikle knows, I think Oikle's been the landscaping company for the town for a while, so I don't believe it was put out for bids.
Okay.
Okay, so, that reminds me, I did get an email from them, discussing or mentioning that the grass seed that got spread around in the new area around the historic district needs to get wet.
Right.
And I didn't have any great ideas off the top of my head about, who's going to do the watering out there. There isn't a hose bib on the town hall.
No, or enough holes to get to it.
That's right. So I thought I would talk about that with Sherry Coleman, the
Yeah.
chair of the Historic District Commission.
Maybe somebody with a watering truck that could come.
Yeah, for the time being, we don't have to worry about it with the rain tonight, but.
Right.
Let's just hope for well-placed rains, like every other day.
Yep.
That'd be great. Okay, that's all I have.
That's all I can think of.
All right, Brandy, public input?
Just
So you
wondering
just
the
want to ask?
status,
Well,
where we're at.
okay, I can tell you this. We have talked to several people about being appointed, and we've had several declines. Now, why that is, I don't know. We have so much fun up here that it amazes me that anybody would decline to do it. But we have another candidate that we will talk to. We want to get this done as much as the rest of the town does. We've been distracted with some other issues lately. The other thing, too, I want to mention, it's been kind of awkward to work around, but the law requires it, is that whenever Larry and I want to get together and talk about town business, that's a meeting. And so we got to post it. So if we want to get together and talk about who we want to appoint for the select, that's a meeting. And I work in Concord. He works in Dorchester. We have to coordinate our schedules. We have to post the meeting with 24 hours in
Minimum notice.
Yeah, minimum. So we don't get to, that's a long way of saying we don't get to meet all that often outside of our regular every 2-week meetings. So, but in fact, in our non-public session tonight, we are going to be talking about it. Okay, thanks, Mary. Okay. Come on up.
Ally Martin,
Okay, Ally.
and I just wanted to ask one question. Can the road agent be voted on by the public instead of the selectmen? Can
Okay.
that be brought up again?
This is a process.
Yeah, there's a process for that. Right now, the road agent's appointed,
Right,
okay, by the select board.
I understand.
In order to change that, to make the road agent an elected position, that requires a warrant article to be voted on at the town meeting. Such a warrant article came up, what was it, 2 years ago, John? And it didn't pass. But, certainly we've got the town meeting coming up in March of 2017, and it can come up again.
And if it does pass, it also doesn't take effect until the following year.
Yeah, right. If this is something that residents want to seriously consider, the only suggestion I would make is think about it hard and really do some research about it, because it's not necessarily a grass is greener on the other side situation. There's pluses and minuses on both ways to go about it. So you can, it's sort of like be careful what you wish for, So, but there are a lot of road agents who are elected, and it works for a lot of towns.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, thanks, Alan. Any other public input?
Just AED, CPR stuff.
Thanks, John. Oh, great. Okay, I meant to ask you about that. Yes, I meant to ask you about that.
Yeah, okay,
So,
great.
great.
J.D. Erickson, up at Gila, EMS.
Mhm.
I'm trying to be in contact with her. I haven't heard back from her yet.
Okay,
Asking her to communicate with Bill Wood,
okay.
so we can get the CPR part as well as the AED part all put together in one. Bill is willing to come up separately if we have to. If you guys give me some time, I could get Bill here almost any time.
Okay, we talked about doing this after a selectmen's meeting.
Right.
I still think that that's a good idea. So, the next selectmen's meeting, I believe, is July 28th, and then there's 2 weeks later in August.
Right.
Do you want to
I
pick
can
one
try
of
for
those?
them, at least for Bill.
Yeah.
If Ms. Erickson gets involved, that could be okay too.
Okay.
I'm also asking her to give us the CPR information for coursework certification, whatever. So,
Okay.
I haven't heard back from her. She said she's going away in June. I don't know if she got lost in the Middle East or whatever else. And
So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, and I got a note from the lady down at the Health Initiative.
Oh,
Okay, and she said she wanted to know, she said that the Mass COVID grant should be granted every time.
okay,
I don't know if it has, so we can get the second AED up at the
right.
town office.
Would Sean be Russell be the first one to know if the grant has been granted?
Right.
Would she be the one who?
Yeah, she would be the one, it would be Mass COVID Savings Bank, that
Right.
would went through.
And she would be the one who would be notified?
Right,
Okay.
we would know, the town would be the one that get notified.
Oh,
She did the grant for the town.
Oh, okay, all right, I see.
So,
All right, I haven't seen
I
him.
don't know if you see everything yet.
No, not
Or
yet.
the town could just go ahead and get the AED, and then you're gonna get the money anyway.
Okay, all right.
And then we could get Anna and Darlene all set up, so we don't have to give credit to the jump starter from the car or whatever.
All right. Thank you, John. Anybody else? I hope we all see you at breakfast here bright and early Saturday morning for the Going Places breakfast. Goes from 8 to 12. The food's better at 8 than it is at 12. And then after that, you're all going to jump on your bicycles, yes? And take a big tour of Green Woodlands.
That's the first thing in the morning. That's
We're
what
gonna
morning.
stay home with our dogs and walk them down.
What's on the breakfast menu?
Pancakes, sausage, bacon, fresh fruit cup, muffins.
It's delicious.
Sounds good.
Yeah. It's a wonderful benefit for the Grange. And is it just a contribution?
The breakfast is $5,
Okay, all right.
and that helps to support the putting on the event.
Right. It's a wonderful event, and this is the which annual? It's the
13th,
15th? Yeah,
the
it's a great thing that Dorchester does, so I hope to see you all. I'll be here with eating pancakes, certainly.
You gonna be riding your
I
bicycle?
won't be able to cook My bicycle has flat tires, I'll see.
Oh, well, we gotta,
Yeah.
help them out.
Yeah, Bob Green last year really was working hard to get me a bicycle.
How's he doing?
All I can tell you is that there was a planning board meeting scheduled for last night, and he canceled the last Monday, he said he couldn't make it. So, he wanted to, but he felt like he couldn't leave the house. So, I think that's our... Okay, we need to go into a non-public session, so I think... Oh, I don't have it memorized. Under RSA 91-8. Thank you. C. All right. Thank you all for coming tonight. I appreciate everybody showing up on a dreary, stormy evening. Video quarter us all. Thanks, Mike. Thank you all.